Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, it's been almost 3 weeks since I last made a YouTube video, so I'm very excited to be back sharing some wisdom and tips and tricks with you all. Thank you for sticking around. Today we are talking about how to find out your type as an actor. If you've been in acting school for a while or been to conservatory or even been around actors, you've probably heard the term type. What does type mean, and why the heck should you know what type you are? It's a very controversial subject for actors. It's something that I myself have struggled with as an actor a lot, both in my early days and even now still sometimes. So we're going to talk about that. Hang tight, get out your notebook and be ready to take some notes, and to kind of diminish the myth behind finding your type as an actor. Here's a tip: it's not as scary as it seems, and it's not a deal as people make it out to be. So let's figure out what exactly this means and how to find and own and embrace your type as an actor. So as actors and as people in the entertainment business, what we mean when we talk about type is kind of what vibe does this person carry out, right? What vibe do they have? What characters can we see them playing? And what energy do they give off as an actor, as a character, as a performer? So as a very baseline example, you could see someone as more of a mom type, where you can see them playing a lot of moms in commercials and in shows. You can see someone as kind of the young, innocent, naive young woman trope, where, you know, they play a lot of naive characters. Think of like Rory and Gilmore Girls, right? Those kind of characters, very coming of age. But especially in recent years, in acting and in the entertainment world, thank goodness, is type is being more talked about and more expansive. So we no longer look at an actor or a young woman and think, oh, she can only play these roles. Heck, we have gender lines being blurred. We have all kinds of amazing things happening in acting and in the acting world, where you can play kind of whatever the heck you want, right? So that's really good. Still, as an actor, you still want to know what vibe you give off in your work, and the energy you give off, and the type of characters that people automatically see you as. Not that you want to use these things as discouragement or as places for bias, because we don't want that. And thank God that the entertainment industry is moving away from all of that, because that's how it used to be for many years. But you still want to know what type, what vibe do I give off as an actor. When I first started out, everyone loved to tell me I was the young innocent type. I got a little bit of a girl next door vibe. People loved to tell me when I was younger that I gave off the girl next door vibe, but yet they would always be like, well, but yet not really. I was kind of like the girl next door, the secret kind of vibe, whatever that's supposed to mean. And then as I got a little older, people started seeing me as a young mom type a lot. But what's funny, and this is something I really want to stress on in this video, what people tell you your type is and what you get cast as are sometimes polar opposites. People would tell me these things, like, someone once tell me, like, I could see you selling paper towels in commercials. Have I ever gone out for a paper towel commercial? No. The commercials I've gone out for have been Yoga Girls, a comedic parody about vaping. What are the commercials I've gone for? Like a Christmas commercial. Very random, weird things. But yet I can look at those commercials that I went out for and I can see a type. The commercial I got cast in, my first commercial I ever did, was for Revolution Brewing here in Chicago. And the character type, what it said was bombshell girl or hot girl on date. I am shocked that I got that role. I saw that and I was like, okay, I don't see myself that way. I'm never gonna get cast as this, and I got it. And the character description for my characters in those 2 commercials I did were hot girl on date and bombshell. Never, ever did I think I would get cast in something like that as those descriptions. So my point is, what people tell you your type is and what you'll actually go out for and go to auditions for and get cast as, you just never know. Every casting director is going to see you completely differently, and unless you have a very strong, obvious type, you can kind of be whoever you want to be. And at the end of the day, like in life, you can give off whatever kind of energy and vibe you want to give off. But I will say this about type is you want to own yourself as an actor. You want to embrace who you are. And like I've said on this channel a million times, do not try to be like someone else. And you want to know who you are as a performer for yourself. You want to be able to define yourself before other people try to define you, because they will. They will. And something I'm reminded of again and again and again, and it's sad, but it's true. People may disagree with me, is this industry is not the kindest industry. It's getting better, thank God, it really is. But I was reminded of something that happened to me about 2 weeks ago. Someone made a not so great comment about my work, and it just kind of reminded me, you know, this isn't always the most fair or, you know, kindest industry in the world to be in. Instead of letting that discourage you, let it motivate you to, number one, be a kind and loving and compassionate human being yourself and to radiate that with other people. Number two, to remember that you were in control at the end of the day. Like with your type, okay? Define yourself. Know firmly and fully who you are as a person and human being first, and then as a performer. And then you can't let anyone else define you if you know who you are. When I had these people telling me, you know, about my type, I once had a gentleman tell me once, you know, he's like, oh, you know, you can only play nice girls, you know, you're you know, you can't play like mean girls. And then I had the same gentleman tell me, he was like, you know, you're just a character actor, Hannah. You'll just play, you know, weird character roles. You'll never play like a leading lady. Not true. If you listen to that kind of crap, it's going to get inside your head and you're not going to get anywhere. You have to define yourself before you let other people define you, because at the end of the day, when you go to sleep at night, you are the only one who gets to decide who you are and what you want your career to be. So now that I jumped off my high horse and got off of that spiel, so know your type as an actor. Know what characters you can see yourself playing and that other people will picture you playing. You know, the reality is too, the best actors own their type and use it. And the best working actors, actors who book and work consistently, all have a very specific type and all work constantly. Some of my favorite examples of this are William Dafoe. He is not, you know, the typical golden boy, Leonardo DiCaprio, attractive actor. He's not. And I'm sure he knows that. He's not delusional as far as I know. But he freaking owns it. He's quirky. He's got a very interesting face, to say the least. And look at his body of work. Pause this video, go to IMDb and look up his body of work and see all the award nominations he's gotten and how he works consistently. A wonderful film to watch is his film where he portrays Vincent van Gogh called At Eternity's Gate. It is a masterclass in acting and performing. He is killer in that. You know, and he's not going around trying to be like Brad Pitt. He is just owning who he is, and I'm sure he always has. And that is why he's a consistent, award-winning, award-nominated actor. Another actor who does this very well is Bill Murray. Again, Bill Murray's not walking around trying to be Ryan Gosling, for goodness sake. You know, he's not. He is, you know, very much a dad type. He's quirky. He's kind of odd looking. He's cynical. He's grumpy. He can become an a-hole sometimes. But he owns it. And look at his body of work. It took him a while to get going. He started in comedy here in Chicago, actually. But, you know, he skyrocketed because he wasn't trying to be like anyone else. He was just trying to be like Bill Murray. That is what I'm talking about, is you can't go around trying to be someone you're not. I mean, as much as I want to be Jessica Chastain, because she's my favorite actress of all time, I don't waltz around trying to be Jessica Chastain. Okay, maybe sometimes I do, but I don't try to be someone I'm not. As much as we all love Meryl Streep, there can be, and there will only be, one Meryl freaking Streep, so don't try to be her. Another great example is Meryl Streep. If you look at her body of work and her consistency and her just vast, massive amount of work, She's not going around trying to be somebody she's not either. To me, Meryl Streep is a beautiful, beautiful woman, but she's not a typical blonde bombshell. She's not Jane Fonda. She's not, she wasn't Farrah Fawcett. She was herself, and she was a little quirky. She's a little different looking. She's very much a character actress, but she's played also a ton of leading ladies. So the moral of the story is, own and embrace who you are. In the previous, few minutes of this video, I said define yourself before anyone else can define you. The next step would be to embrace whatever you find. Embrace yourself. If you, are a little too tall, embrace that. If you look like you could play, a plumber, embrace that. If you look like you could go out for some really, really good older mom roles, embrace that. Because those are the actors, the ones who truly embrace their types, those are the actors who work. And then once you've embraced your type and you know what it is, then you can expand and show the world and the industry and theater and the casting directors and agents all the different faces you can put on and all the different characters you can play. But first, you need to define yourself and embrace it. I once had an acting teacher say to me, you need to feed them the hamburger before you feed them the main course of steak. And what I think he meant is you need to show them, okay, this is my type. This is the characters that I can play consistently, knock your socks off, play them really, really well. And then once they get that, they're like, oh, this is really good. I really like this. Then you can throw them the steak and be like, and I can play, a drug addict. And I can play, the evil, mom next door who has a big secret. And I can play Miss Julie, in Strindberg work and Ibsen and Shakespeare. Then you can throw them the really juicy, good stuff, right? But first you want to feed them your type and then go and expand from there. So you may be asking yourself, Hannah, this is all great, this is all wonderful information, but how do I find out my type? A really simple and fun and easy way, especially in the time of COVID-19 like we're all living in, to find out your type, besides going to a class and asking some trusted teachers and confidants and mentors, is to put your headshot on Facebook and write as your status, hey guys, what characters or roles could you see me playing? And just ask your friends. I have done this a gazillion times in my career. It's fun, it's easy. Tell people to be blatantly honest with you. And even if your friends, aren't actors or aren't in the industry or their profession, it's probably best to ask them because they're not biased and they don't really know what they're, not to be cruel, but they don't really know what they're talking about. So they're gonna be pure and honest in their opinions. I've done, like I said, I swear by it, go and do it. Put your headshot on Facebook, ask people, tell me honestly, what characters and what type of roles can you see me playing? I did this so many times, it was so helpful. And it's easy, it doesn't cost anything, you can do it right now, and it's, safe and socially distant. So do it, put your headshot on Facebook and ask people. Another way, obviously, you can do it, like I mentioned, is to start going to acting classes. If you haven't already, I highly recommend it. You should be in class all the time. I've been an actor for 10 plus years. I'm still in class. I'm in a class that we meet again tomorrow evening over Zoom, as many classes are right now. You can start building a repertoire of teachers you trust and teachers who know your work and maybe a mentor down the road. I'm going to have a video in the future about how to find an acting mentor. And by the way, I would love to be your acting mentor. I do offer virtual career consultations at my website, link in bio. If you're interested, I would love to be that for you. But then you can kind of develop some trustworthy people who will be able to tell you, hey, this is what I think your type is. These are the characters I see you leaning towards, and they get to know your work. So put your headshot on Facebook, ask your friends what they see you playing, what kind of parts they see you playing, and start building a repertoire of trusted people in the industry who know you and get to know your personality and your body of work, who can give you some vital insight into that as well. So then you're probably wondering, okay, I know my type, I did the work, Hannah, what do I do now? Then use your type to propel you forward. Start finding monologues that match your type, that will work for your type, and that you can just go into the audition room and just kill it every time because you're doing great monologues that you've worked on and that you've been coached on, and you know your type and you're portraying it through those monologues. It will be beautiful. Start reading plays with characters that match your type so you can start finding those monologues and just kind of keep your type in the forefront of your mind. And this is going to sound very contradictory, but acting in this business is all about contradictions, and I myself am a person of many contradictions. Throw your type away. Go out for roles that you want to go out for, not that your agent says you should, not that your mom says you should, not that your friends say you should, or your actor peers. Go out for the roles that you want. If something's not your type, who cares? Go for it. I've gone out for roles so many times that were not my type and booked them or got callbacks or had fun at the very least, right? So at the end of the day, you define who you are as an artist. If you want to go out there and audition for Romeo, do it. If you want to go out there and be, a crazy character that no one would ever imagine you as, go for it. In acting class, I once got a monologue assigned to me by my amazing teacher where I portrayed a goat. And my first thought was, is this my type? And then my second thought was, oh my gosh, I don't think I can do this because this isn't something I'm comfortable with and it's not really my type and I don't know how I could ever do this in an audition room. So what? I did it anyway. I did an audition, I worked on it in class, whatever. Work against your type and work for your type. But at the end of the day, remember that you own who you are. Never, ever, ever let anyone in this industry define who you are as a human, as an artist, and as an actor. You go to bed with a clear conscience, knowing you know who you are, and don't let anyone take that away from you. So find out your type and then throw it all away, because this industry is one of contradictions, and at the end of the day, you get to define who you are, and isn't that a beautiful thing? Thank you so much for watching my channel today, guys. If you liked what you see, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for all notifications on all my new videos. If you want to work with me, I design demo reels. I have my own business where I design demo reels. I offer virtual monologue coaching if you want to start finding monologues and working on them to get ready for audition season coming up. Make sure and work with me. It's $25 for 30 minutes virtually. It's a great deal, especially in this crazy tight time of COVID-19. I would love to work with you all. If you are thinking about becoming an actor or a new actor or a high school senior, wondering what to do about school and your acting path, I would love to work with you and offer you a virtual career consultation. That is all in the link to my website for my business below. I would love to work with you all in this crazy, crazy world of acting and help you tell the story you were born to tell. Remember that we all have a story to tell. Thank you for giving me a chance to tell my own. Have a great week. I'll see you all next time.